Did you say you have one lens only? You're in the right place. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thomas Love here from beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, and today we're gonna discuss the video qualities of our Leica Q2. As you see, I'm holding a phone and I'm using it as a remote and as a screen because this Leica has many qualities but also a few lacks. One of them is a tilt screen, so if I want to see whether I'm not in frame, whether I'm not in focus, I have to use the phone as a remote. But apart from that, we don't have an HDMI port and we don't have a jack for the mic. So I'm using an external mic and I will have to download the audio track and then to sync it to the video in post. But apart from that, there are plenty of advantages if you want to use the camera that you already have also for shooting videos. Nowadays we are all asking about an EDC camera, cinematic, 4K, good resolution. We want to have everything in a small compact body we can always have with us. This is right the case because, don't get me wrong, if you are a video maker and you have to purchase a camera for your videos, this is not it. Probably you will have better alternatives at a cheaper price. But if you already have your Leica Q2, then nowadays you can enjoy it 360 while shooting C4K videos as well. What am I doing today? I want you to show what the camera is capable of, because most of the times we all go around with an action cam with our iPhone, we take short videos still in 4K but with a smaller tiny sensor, while if you have a full frame camera, why not get the best out of it? Why not also shooting videos? Very first thing you're supposed to do is to have your ND filter mounted. So this is an example I shot without the ND filter, and now I will come closer and screw into it. Why are you supposed to use an ND filter? If you're using an action cam, this thing does not even hit your mind. You're not supposed to do that. You're only supposed to hit record and you're good to go. While if you're using a camera, well, why are you supposed to use an ND filter? As simple as you need 1/50th of a second as a shutter speed if you're shooting 24 FPS and 1/60th if you're shooting 30 FPS. In order to have it with such a bright day, either you close your f aperture that much, but then you will have a very broad depth of field, so you don't have a separation of your main subject, in this case myself, as I'm the speaker, versus the background. And this is kind of weird, it looks odd when you're shooting videos. And so if you want to have the separation between foreground and background, you have to mount an ND filter. Alright, so this is one of the few times in my life when I let everything to the camera. I put the f aperture in automatic, the ISO in automatic, and the shutter speed in automatic. Basically you just need to match the number of FPS you want to use with the shutter speed and you're good to go. Then the framing, the lighting, the ISO, leave it everything to the camera, because even when you're using an action cam, you don't really care about it. You just want a video to be recorded and the video to have a very good quality. And for what I can see here, it kind of looks like good. Every once in a while, the camera companies produce a product that is a true game changer. This is not it. Probably having a camera like a Sony with eye recognition, autofocus and stuff will make your life easier. But if you have it already, you want to shoot C4K videos, go for it. For what I can see from the monitor here, it looks like a very good quality of the recording. Of course, you're using a full frame camera to record a 4K video. What were you expecting out of it? I'm only expecting great things when it comes down to image quality from Leica, and this lens is a guarantee. You will have a very good, embarrassingly good image quality. As a comparison, I'm also recording a backup with my DJI, so now I can alternate the recording from one to another And please bear with me because the DJI has such a broad lens, so compared to the Leica where I closed down cropping to 35 millimeters, and I'm still not sure that would be matched to 4K because basically it's a crop image. But I don't even know if this feature is new or not. I just downloaded the latest software update that allows me to shoot C4K videos 24 or eventually 25 FPS and then 29 point stuff, almost 30. But the very news is the uncompressed quality of the video, 25 FPS 422. That means a broader depth of color and shadows in your video. So it's like comparing shooting JPEG to RAW. We're now shooting video in RAW quality. But let's go back to the studio where we can discuss with ease all the options we want to discuss today. Alright, so we're back indoors. I had to download the files to double check the quality, and let me say that I'm positively impressed by what we shot with our Leica Q2 today. And also I wanted to discuss with you a new functionality that we had with the last software updates, which is the possibility to have, while shooting crop modes with a video, the frame resized to the full dimension in the rear screen. We've been asking for this functionality to Leica since the very day the Leica Q2 hit the market, and it is now implemented with the video. Let me say that it is very helpful because when you are cropping from 28mm to 35 or even 50mm, having the camera reframing and see the new frame full size in the rear screen, it really helps with the composition. So well done, Leica. And here I'm showing you a few examples that I shot prior and after mounting the ND filter, where I am shooting and cropping video mode from 28 to 35 to 50mm to eventually 75mm. One last thing I will miss and I will have to double check prior to sharing with you this video is that I want to be sure that once you reframed with the crop mode, that quality and that dimension has enough pixels to be considered as a 4K video, or if not, until what extent we are able to crop and still have a 4K video as an output. And now that I double checked the quality of the file that we shot outdoor, let me say that this is really one of the best EDC you can find out there on the market. And the quality of the file with the new functionality implemented, the 42 uncompressed recording, really is cinematic. So even if we don't have the L-Log installed yet, I don't feel the need to do any color grading in post. So it really is one of the best EDC cinematic cameras that you might want to consider if you're also going for a very good quality of the photos. I'm very happy about this camera. I have to admit that I'm now very spoiled when it comes down to image quality. So either I'm shooting photos or videos with my Leica Q2, I'm very happy about the end result and the quality that I'm having. This will make it eventually even more difficult for me if and when I will have to consider changing camera, because once you get used to such a good quality of the image for both photo and videos, then going back is always a compromise. So of course, we all love to have point and shoot. We all like to use cameras that are not so expensive, so you can eventually travel and go around. You don't have to care that much about it. But if you will get a Leica Q2, you will love it. And so once you have it, you will be as spoiled as me and probably use it as your main mean of production. Now, if you go back a few minutes and you see the comparison between the files that I shot with Leica and the DJI today in this same video, you will see that DJI, I loved it. I'm still using it now as a backup recording, and it's a very good action cam, of course, with its limitations given by the fact that it has a sensor that is such a tiny one compared to the full frame in our Leica Q2. But apart from that, I'm still very happy about the files I'm shooting with my DJI that will still be my main pick when I'm out vlogging or when I have to shoot POV videos, because I can easily mount it on top of the Leica and show you exactly what am I shooting. But I honestly don't see myself going around with a gimbal and using the Leica on the move, especially because it doesn't really have such a reliable autofocusing system. I appreciate when I have to talk directly into it, but come on guys, it's 2022. We need more than that implemented when we want to shoot professional videos. So for stills, it's perfect. It's a perfect camera for street photography and for video stills. It lives very well mounted on a tripod, and if you have to manage it, then I'm always using the remote, which in this case is a phone. With that, I hope I satisfied your curiosity about the video section of the Leica Q2. If you got any value out of this video, please remember to like it, share it on your social, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss all the new videos to come, and I guess I will see you later. Thank you. Bye.